Welcome to Craft and Antler's Small Business Hacks, your go-to channel for practical tips and tricks to help your business thrive. My name is Michael, and I'm the co-owner of Craft and Antler Company. Craft and Antler makes made-to-order premium leather products at affordable prices. In today's episode, we'll explore how to manage and maintain positive relationships with suppliers and vendors. So, buckle up, and let's dive in. First, let's talk about why building and maintaining strong relationships with suppliers and vendors is essential for your small business. Good relationships can lead to better pricing, higher quality products, and faster delivery times, all of which can give you a competitive edge. Now let's explore some effective tips to help you build and maintain positive relationships with your suppliers and vendors. Tip number 1. Communicate clearly and frequently. Keep communication lines open and ensure you're on the same page. Establish regular check-ins, discuss your expectations, and provide feedback on their performance. Effective communication is essential when working with vendors. It helps to establish expectations, avoid misunderstandings, and ensure that everyone is on the same page. Clear communication can also help to build trust and foster a good working relationship with your vendors. To communicate clearly, it's important to use simple and concise language. Avoid using technical jargon or industry-specific terms that may not be familiar to your vendors. If you do need to use technical terms, be sure to define them clearly. It's also important to be specific when communicating with vendors. Clearly articulate what you need, when you need it, and what your expectations are. Provide clear instructions and guidelines, and make sure that your vendors understand them. Another key aspect of clear communication is active listening. When communicating with your vendors, be sure to listen carefully to what they have to say. Ask questions and clarify any points that are unclear to you. This will help to ensure that everyone is on the same page and that any issues or concerns are addressed in a timely manner. In addition to communicating clearly, it's also important to communicate frequently. Regular communication can help to keep everyone informed and prevent any surprises or misunderstandings. This can be done through regular meetings, phone calls, or email updates. In summary, clear and frequent communication is essential when working with vendors. Use simple and concise language, be specific in your instructions, actively listen to your vendors, and communicate regularly to establish a good working relationship with your vendors. Tip number 2. Pay on time. Always pay your invoices on time. This demonstrates your reliability and helps build trust between you and your supplier or vendor. Tip number 3. Be transparent and honest. Be upfront about your needs, challenges, and any changes in your business. Transparency and honesty foster a better working relationship and can help prevent misunderstandings. Tip number 4. Show appreciation and recognition. Recognize and appreciate your suppliers' and vendors' hard work. A simple thank you, public recognition, or a small gift can go a long way in strengthening your relationship. Tip number 5. Foster a long-term partnership mindset. Approach your relationship with a long-term perspective. Work together to improve processes, solve problems, and help each other grow. Tip number 6. Be flexible and understanding. Understand that challenges and setbacks can occur. Be patient and flexible when issues arise, and work collaboratively to find solutions. Working with vendors can sometimes require a certain level of flexibility and understanding. While it's important to set clear expectations and communicate effectively, it's also important to be flexible and understanding when unexpected situations arise. One way to be flexible and understanding is to be open to compromise. If a vendor is unable to meet your exact needs or deadlines, consider whether there is a way to adjust your expectations or requirements to accommodate their limitations. This may involve renegotiating the terms of your agreement or finding a workaround to address any issues. Another way to be flexible and understanding is to be patient. Vendors may encounter unexpected delays or setbacks, such as supply chain issues or staffing shortages. It's important to be patient and understand that these issues are often outside of the vendor's control. By remaining patient and understanding, you can help to maintain a positive working relationship with your vendor. It's also important to be willing to listen to your vendor's perspective. If they raise concerns or suggest alternative solutions, take the time to consider their input. By listening to your vendor and taking their concerns into account, you may be able to find a more effective solution or a way to improve your working relationship. Finally, it's important to be respectful of your vendor's time and resources. Avoid making unreasonable demands or expecting your vendor to work outside of their normal business hours. By being respectful of their time and resources, you can help to maintain a positive working relationship and foster mutual respect. In summary, being flexible and understanding can help to maintain a positive working relationship with your vendors. Be open to compromise, patient, willing to listen, and respectful of your vendors' time and resources. By doing so, you can build a strong and mutually beneficial relationship with your vendors. Tip number 7. Offer constructive feedback. When offering feedback, focus on solutions and improvements rather than simply criticizing. This approach fosters a spirit of collaboration and growth. Offering constructive feedback to your vendors can help to improve the quality of their work and the overall working relationship. However, it's important to provide feedback in a way that is constructive, respectful, and focused on improvement. To offer constructive feedback, it's important to be specific and objective. Clearly articulate what you liked about the vendor's work, as well as any areas where you think there is room for improvement. Be sure to provide specific examples and details to help the vendor understand your perspective. When providing feedback, it's also important to be respectful and professional. Avoid using accusatory or confrontational language, and focus on the facts rather than personal opinions. This can help to ensure that the vendor is receptive to your feedback and is motivated to make improvements. Another key aspect of offering constructive feedback is to provide suggestions or recommendations for improvement. Rather than simply pointing out what the vendor did wrong, provide specific suggestions for how they can improve their work or processes. This can help to ensure that the vendor has a clear understanding of what they need to do to improve. It's also important to provide feedback in a timely manner. Waiting too long to provide feedback can make it more difficult for the vendor to make improvements or may result in further mistakes or issues. Be sure to provide feedback as soon as possible after the work has been completed or the issue has been identified. Finally, it's important to follow up with your vendor after providing feedback. Check in to see how they are progressing with making improvements and offer ongoing support and guidance as needed. In summary, offering constructive feedback is an important aspect of working with vendors. Be specific and objective. Be respectful and professional. Provide suggestions for improvement. Provide feedback in a timely manner, and follow up regularly. By doing so, you can help to improve the quality of work and build a strong and productive working relationship with your vendors. Tip number 8. Be organized and professional. Keep your documentation, orders, and inventory well organized. This will make it easier for your suppliers and vendors to work with you and shows your professionalism. Tip number 9. Establish clear and fair contracts. Make sure your contracts outline terms and conditions, pricing, delivery timelines, and quality expectations. This helps both parties understand their responsibilities and reduces the likelihood of disputes. Clear and fair contracts are essential when working with vendors. They help to establish expectations, define the scope of work, and ensure that both parties understand their respective obligations and responsibilities. To establish clear and fair contracts, it's important to be specific and detailed. Clearly articulate the scope of work, timelines, deliverables, and any other important details. Be sure to include any relevant legal terms, such as warranties, indemnification, and dispute resolution clauses. It's also important to ensure that your contracts are fair and balanced. Avoid using one-sided contracts that heavily favor your interests. Instead, aim to create contracts that are mutually beneficial for both parties. Another key aspect of clear and fair contracts is transparency. Be open and honest with your vendors about your expectations, requirements, and limitations. If there are any issues or concerns, raise them early in the contract negotiation process to avoid any surprises later on. In addition to creating clear and fair contracts, it's important to review and update them regularly. As your business needs and the vendor landscape evolve, your contracts may need to be adjusted to reflect these changes. Regular reviews can help to ensure that your contracts remain up to date and effective. Finally, it's important to ensure that all parties involved in the contract understand its terms and conditions. This can be achieved through clear and open communication, as well as by providing training or education on the contract's key points. In summary, establishing clear and fair contracts is essential when working with vendors. Be specific and detailed, ensure fairness and balance, be transparent, review and update regularly, and ensure that all parties understand the contract's terms and conditions. By doing so, You can help to ensure a successful and productive relationship with your vendors. Tip number 10. Attend industry events and network. Attending industry events is a great way to stay up to date on the latest trends and technologies in your field. It's also an opportunity to meet vendors in person and establish relationships with them. Networking is a key part of attending industry events. Make sure to introduce yourself to vendors and other professionals who may be able to help your business. Ask them questions about their products and services, and be open to learning from their expertise. When you attend an industry event, be prepared to make a good first impression. Dress appropriately, bring business cards, and have a clear idea of what you want to accomplish at the event. Finally, follow up with vendors after the event. Send them an email or give them a call to thank them for their time and to continue the conversation. This will help you establish a long-term relationship with vendors and may lead to future business opportunities. So that's it for today's tip. Remember to attend industry events and network to build relationships with vendors and stay up to date in your field. Stay tuned for more informative videos on small businesses by following and subscribing to our channel. Don't miss out on valuable insights and tips to help your business thrive. Thanks for watching and see you next time.